This is Coach and the Kid. I'm the Kid.
And I'm the coach.
And today we're going to be talking about the Oregon-Colorado game that happened last Saturday. Everyone's been talking about the Colorado Buffaloes for all the right reasons since Deion Sanders took over. But last game was not... It was bad.
Yep.
They got blew out 42-6 by the Oregon football Ducks, and Bo Nix thrust himself into the Heisman Trophy conversation by going off
Senior citizens.
for senior citizens.
Dude's like 29 years old.
He's
playing
23, although he is technically a fifth year. I don't understand.
Dude, 30.
How does that work?
After 31 years old, you shouldn't be able to play college. Period.
Well, maybe he's getting a degree. You don't know. He has to stay
He ain't
behind.
getting no degree. Hey,
Why else would he have
he
stayed
should
for 4
already
years?
had Nick 23. You should have had a degree. If you don't have your degree by 23, unless you're going to be a doctor or something, you need to go sit down.
Yeah.
He ain't majoring in nothing but basket weaving. You know how long it takes to get a basket weaving degree? That's what they be studying.
Is that an actual thing?
That used to be. I don't know if they still do it. Them college players be, majoring in paper cuts, man. That's what they do. They go around, they take papers and they rub their fingers. Ooh, my finger bleeding. They get an A for that. I'm trying to tell you, dude, these boys don't be taking most of them. Not everybody. Hear me now. I want to get no hate. Most of these cats, they worried about the NFL, bro. So they not gonna even finish. So what they majoring in, don't really matter. You doing workouts, you doing recovery, all that. Most of these kids are not focused on academics. Now, Stanford and, Notre Dame and, schools like that, Northwestern, they care about athletics. I'm sorry, they care about education. Alabama, them SEC schools, nah, doc. They don't. They ain't worried about education.
Honestly, I don't feel like if you're getting a scholarship for sports and you're getting funneled out to a major organization like the NBA or NFL, you shouldn't have to get a degree. You're there for the football and basketball. That's what they're recruiting you for.
See, you doing too much because they already tripping that they're getting paid now. First of all, that's the next thing. They getting paid now. So it's like they really go to school for what? You know what I'm saying? They getting paid now. So I don't know. I am not, an NCAA expert. At least not like I used to be. I don't know if I was ever an NCAA expert, but nah, man. But what else went on before we get into this topic? First of all, we know we've been away. If you listen to this, the few people that are listening to this, thank you. We're gonna try to be more consistent, but just keeping it real. We got a lot of other things going on. This is, me personally, this is just something I'm just doing with my son. Just trying to help him out, trying to motivate him, trying to get him going. But I got a lot of other stuff going on. So eventually, if we get traction and things like that, he'll probably just be by himself, or we'll try to figure something out. But that's what this is about. So if you're a father, you got a son, you know what time it is. Like, we got to support our kids, but there's only so many hours in a day. I'm running on 4 hours sleep right now. So, but anyway, what else happened before we get into this Colorado situation?
All right, so number 2 ranked Michigan, which is actually surprising, beat Rutgers 31-7. Number 5.
Why is it surprising?
Because
they've been whooping.
we've been sort of one of the mid teams for years.
Yeah.
We're good now.
Bro, we beat Ohio State last year. That was let's go time. Okay, we beat Ohio State for the first time since I don't know, John Wayne won an Emmy or something. That's the last time we beat Ohio State, right? When Desmond Howard had a Jerry curl, that's the last time we beat Ohio State. So yeah, we beat them. It's time to go.
Moving along, we have Florida State beating Clemson in overtime, 31-24.
We saw that game.
Oklahoma beat Cincinnati 20-6. Miami, Florida. I don't know why that city specifically has a college.
Because it's a Miami, Ohio. So that's why they got Miami, Florida, because it could be Miami, Ohio too.
Well, they beat Temple 41-7. Number 12 ranked Alabama beat Mississippi 24-10. And
Alabama is 12?
yeah.
Oh my.
And apparently Duke is good in football this year.
Stop.
They beat Connecticut 41-7.
Duke?
Yeah.
Who's on Duke?
I have no idea. I just know
cover them in another show.
Florida beat Charlotte 22-7.
Yeah, man, you too low now. Okay.
There's a lot of colleges.
Now,
You want me to go through them all?
Let's get to talk about Colorado, bro. Let's go. That's why we here. That's why they listening.
Okay, so if you didn't watch the game,
They watched.
Oregon beat the Colorado Buffaloes 42-6.
It was over at halftime.
Yeah, it
Was
was
it 35-0?
35-0.
So they really stopped them the second half.
Well, they took Bo Nix out at the beginning of the fourth quarter, so
Yeah, they still had time to whoop some more ass, and they did. So
And-
if I'm a coach, I'm like, yo, they beat us 7-6 in the second half.
that's the motivation.
That's the, we played with them in the second half. Like first of all, man, like, you know, we didn't do a show before this because, you know, again, stuff going on. But I knew they were gonna lose. I didn't think they were gonna lose by that much, but I knew this was the toughest team that they were gonna play. And what Coach Prime has done is incredible. It's awesome. He's playing with a bunch of transfer kids. Like, you know, if you watch that press conference that he said, somebody asked him, was this a talent gap? And he said no. And of course he's going to say no, he's the coach. You can't say, yeah, there's a gap in talent and then go back and command the locker room. So I understand why he did that. But the reality is there is a talent gap. There's no doubt about it. He only had 1 year of recruiting, you know, had to get rid of a lot of people. And then flat out, you know, people talk about bandwagon fans. There's bandwagon players too. I don't think anybody except Coach Prime and Shador and his family thought that they were going to do what they were doing, you know, what they're doing now. So now if you're sitting second string, third string at a big time school and you have the opportunity to transfer, right? You're going to do that. So next year, you know, the team is going to be much better. You know what I mean? So I knew they were going to lose. But I didn't know that they were going to lose by this much. What were the numbers from the game, yards and stuff like that?
Well, overall, Oregon beat Colorado in total yards 522 to 199. I'm just glad they got over the 100 mark because by the second quarter, they still had 19 yards.
Wow.
And the talent gap was most apparent in the rushing game, 240 to 40 for Oregon. And you saw that joker Irving,
crazy.
right? Marquise Irving looks good.
Who was that?
The small guy, smallest dude on the
He's
field,
just a guy, man.
running
He's
on
not
everybody over.
He's not special. He's not special. He's just their O-line was much better. What else though?
Shador Sanders actually played pretty well. 23 of 33, 159 yards, 1 touchdown. He didn't really have a chance to pass because he was sacked 7 times by 6 different players.
There you go. Like you sacked 7 times, and then I would say 4 of them sacks, 5 of them sacks was his fault. Right?
Really?
This has been addressed. Absolutely. This has been addressed before. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of quarterback coaching Shador has gotten, but he keeps dropping back too much. He's dropping back too much, and it is a skill. There are guys in the NFL that drop back too much, right? And when you're athletic and stuff, you can get away with that kind of stuff. But Shador is not a freak athlete. You know, he's okay. You know, he's not the most athletic quarterback of all time. So he's got to step up, and he kept running back, right? As an edge rusher, the momentum is running out to end. So you can't run out because you're running into you know, a direction where they can tackle you. You want to step in, right? And they basically run past you. You step up and you know, complete the pass.
Well, I mean, the best quarterback in the NFL is not that athletic, and he does that all the time. Running back Patrick Mahomes, he's not that
What?
compared to jokers like Lamar Jackson.
Forgive him, y'all.
He's more athletic than Shedeur.
He know not what he talking about.
He's the most slithery dude
forgive
ever.
Him, y'all. Right? That's athleticism, boy. That's athleticism. He's super athletic, but he still steps up in the pocket. Shedeur is not my man.
I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying,
dude. Tom Brady, you can count probably.
Tom Brady is not athletic at all.
That's my point. You can count probably on one hand the times that Tom Brady was sacked 7 times in his entire career. I bet you it only has happened 2 or 3 times. I bet you, right? And I'm sure there was a lot of missed sacks because when you're unathletic, all you got to do is step up a couple steps, and they'll just run right past you. Like, you could take a dude, he can run 23 miles an hour. If you just move up 2 steps, he's gonna run right past you. So that's what Coach Prime and his staff have to teach Shedeur, because it wasn't just this game. He's been doing it since the first game. He's just been getting away with it. And so when you're playing a team, first of all, most people know this, but we have to put this in perspective. The dude that runs Oregon is the head of Nike. He's the head, right? So any new product they come, I seen something at the game I never seen before.
Right, I saw some heat gloves. They change color depending on where you run.
Heat cleats. Why do you need heat sensitive cleats? And how does that help you play better? So, man, bruh, and ain't no telling what else they got. I wouldn't be surprised if Nike has invented some serum or something and they putting it in their cookies, or and they
make
juice.
Captain America football
Right,
players.
I would if it was a team that was gonna do it, it would be Oregon, because my man got all the money in the world. So you have to understand, and they've been recruiting for years and years and years, and they have depth. Right? So what you saw with Colorado, they're good top line. But in order to be a good football team, you got to be 3 deep. You got to be at least 2 deep at quarterback. And you got to be 3 deep at every position if you want to be a great team. If the Alabamas and the Clemsons and people like that, when the quarterback goes out, there's 2 or 3 more guys, right? That's chomping at the bit. Real talk, the freshmen might be better than the seniors, but the coach will favor the seniors or the juniors, because they know the system or whatever else, right? Colorado does not have that, and Travis Hunter going out, you know what I mean? That was it. You had the dirty hit, completely dirty. From the Colorado State player, right? So, they were already going to struggle with the back end of the defense. You know what I mean? So, and you got Oregon, they specialize, they got a number of receivers, and one of them dudes, I forget his name, but they couldn't stop him. You know what I'm saying? So, I knew they were going to lose, but I thought they would show a better effort, than what they did.
I believe his name was Troy Franklin.
Yeah, what's his name? Like 11 or 17?
Number 11.
Yeah. He was just running past everybody. So, they don't have a good pass rush. You don't have a good back end of the defense. That's usually a bad combination.
As good as Hunter is, would he have made the difference in that game?
Not the difference, but it wouldn't have been 42-6. He would have made a difference because he plays both ways. So and I think Shedeur also favors him. I don't think it. I know it. So in terms of his reads and everything, you can just look out there and see, okay, Travis Hunter's out there. Him not being out there, it's also an emotional lift as well for him to be out there. So losing him, you lose a bit of that emotion. I just think, like the first 3 games were awesome. The first 3 games they played on emotion. They surprised teams. Like they didn't surprise Colorado State, but you know what I'm saying. The first 2 games they surprised, and I just think this was their welcome to college football moment. You know, going to Oregon, a loud place. You know, is filled to the brim. I just think them boys had never seen anything like that crowd, anything like that kind of environment. And, you know, they were just shell-shocked. But they need that. You know, you need a little adversity to get through things.
But the other stadiums, it seems like everybody was against Deion Sanders and co. from the beginning. Was it really that much of a difference? The stadiums were filled there in TCU and Nebraska and Colorado State.
But they played at home.
Well, excuse
one of those
me.
games.
One of those games against Colorado State, they played at home.
Right.
So.
Yes, because, you know, TCU, I mean, they expected to beat Colorado, and so it was more of a shock thing, right? And every time they win, you know, the people that want to see them fail, which I don't understand that. You know, I mean, I do understand it, but you know, I really don't want to get into it. Like, I don't understand why people go to that level and everything, and it's just like, you know. But when you have a certain group that's been coaching for 100 years, anytime you break the mold, it's a problem. Anytime, like if it was a woman, they would have a problem with a woman, right? You know what I'm saying? So him being a black man, not that he's the first black male coach, which I don't understand.
Mel Tucker.
Right, well, let's not talk about him.
We don't know if it's true or not.
No, we don't, but I'm just saying that's not the greatest example. It's been a number of black head coaches, I mean, I'm sure, but this is prime, dude. Like, this is the most high-profile black college coach ever, and he's unapologetic, and they're winning, right? So, you know, that combination offends people. I know that personally because I'm the same way. You know that. I mean, and, you know, even when I was your age, I would just walk in a room and offend people. Just walking. Not even opening my mouth. I'm just walking like some people just got that thing, you know? And that's what makes them great. You know, dude is a Hall of Famer. You gotta have that thing. I don't understand. Here's what I don't get. I don't get why some people like, you know, the arrogance and everything in some players, but don't like it in others. I don't like people like that Michael Jordan was an asshole, but they don't like it, you know, that LeBron, you know, might come up on somebody or say something, which LeBron is probably the most politically correct player ever. He don't get into it with people, but they still hate on him. But that's another topic. So I don't know why the hate is there. Haters gonna hate, get a life. But you know, people are definitely rooting against him and against the program because of what it represents. It represents HBCUs coming and playing on the big stage where everybody said they couldn't do. You know, the talent they say is inferior and all of that.
Were all of the transfers from HBCUs, or was it
Well,
just
most of the
Travis
main
Hunter
players,
and
I don't know. First of all, I don't know the whole team, right? But I got the main dudes, like the running back they got. I don't know his name. Travis Shador, of course, Shiloh. They all went with him everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I think a lot of the players came from, you know, Jackson State as well. So, you know, haters gonna hate, man, but they needed this, I think, and they're gonna refocus. Who they play next week?
Let me find out.
They need to refocus for, you know, whoever they're gonna face. My man needs to get back.
USC, and apparently this guy Caleb Williams has been going off.
Okay, I don't know the team. I have not watched them, so I'm not gonna sit up here and speculate. Maybe we'll do another show before then or whatever. But they're playing tough teams now, and they're without, you know, their best defensive player for sure. Dude, when you have a corner, he shuts down half the field. period. When you have a lockdown corner, he shuts down half the field. And so that allows the defense to just focus on one side of the field, which makes the defense seem like it's better because they're not throwing Deion Sanders' way, when he was the cornerback. They're not throwing Revis's way. They're not throwing Charles Woodson's way. You're not throwing Ed Reed way, right? Troy Polamalu. Where they at? Okay, I'm not going there, right? So that allows your linebackers, your safeties, everything to essentially shade, maybe not the free safety, but the strong and your linebackers and all that can shade to the other side of the field. That makes your defense, better than what it actually is when you have a lockdown corner. And if you got two lockdown corners, forget it. That's where you're going to get a bunch of coverage sacks and things like that.
So are you saying the corner is the most important defensive position on the field?
You could argue. I would say it's the most impactful. It might not be the most important. The most important is edge rushing. Whether you're running 4-3 or 3-4. Edge rushing is the most important. Why? Because if you can create a pass rush, right, you can have average cornerbacks and still have success because the quarterback is always running for his life, right? So if almost everybody, myself included, if I got 15 seconds to throw, I'm going to find somebody open. Right? I might only be able to throw it 20, 25 yards.
I mean, those jokers are big if you can see over them.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, most people can throw, especially a professional athlete. They can throw if they got time. The special quarterbacks aren't revealed until there's pressure. Right? What makes Mahomes special? How many times have you looked at Mahomes like, oh, he going down, he's sacked, and then next thing you know, he's completing
side arming a pass while he's falling down.
Exactly. So that's what, and even Aaron Rodgers, who is not, the greatest athlete, like that play he made against the Lions, that ridiculous play where they didn't even touch him. But, they just make plays, right? That's what makes the greats the greats. But if you can get pressure on people, it rattles them. It rattles even the above average to average quarterback. It rattles them. So I would say DN is the most important, and then corner, and then you build your middle, your D tackle, your middle linebackers, things like that. So, but they don't. Travis is the lockdown. They don't have good edge rushers. They don't have, they got the one guy, I forget his name, but collectively as a group, they don't have that. So, they gave up points to TCU. But they give up like 42 to TCU.
45 to 42.
Right. And then they gave up how many points to Colorado State?
35.
Okay. So, for Prime being Prime, how many games have they played? They played 3, right?
They've played 4. They were 3-0 coming in.
I'm saying, who did they beat? The first game was TCU.
The next game was Nebraska.
What was the score with that?
36 to 14.
Okay, so that's the only team they really shut down. And, how good is Nebraska's offense? We don't know. We have to see. But, the other games, they gave up 42 points and 35 points. And then
this 42
game,
again.
Right. So you basically averaging giving up 40 points a game.
It could have been more. Oregon just
had
mercy on them.
So, that says what needs to be said. Like, emotion can only carry you so far. So they're going to have to shore up that defense, or, hey, he's already done a tremendous job. I think if they win 6 games or 7 games, which nobody would have.
How many games are in the college season? I know it's 17 for NFL.
It's been a while for me, man. So I don't, typically it's like 10 in a bowl game. It might be 11 in a bowl game. So 11 or 12 games, not including if you go to the FBS or whatever. So, if they win 6 games, they for sure going to get a bowl just for the draw. And I think it will be a successful season. If they go like 9-2, like if this is the only game they lose, right? Like if they beat USC next week, they're not gonna lose another game. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Now I don't think they're gonna beat USC right now with not having Travis Hunter and so on and so forth. But if Coach Prime is able to coach these boys and they beat USC, I'm telling you they're gonna go 10-1, or something like that.
They've got a pretty easy schedule going forward. You got Arizona State, Stanford, UCLA. They've got one ranked team.
Easy. UCLA is a powerhouse.
Yeah, in basketball.
In football too, boy, stop playing. Ain't nothing easy for them because they're not dominant like that, man. They got to get better. They got to trust me, bro, especially without my man. And that's if, hopefully, they don't have no more injuries. They're not deep. It's the depth. If Shedeur go down, they're not going to win another game.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You have to factor
Deion
those
has only coached with Shedeur, and Shedeur has only been coached by Deion.
Well, he can't be coached if he hurt. So, I'm just saying, hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't want that to happen. God protect him. But, things can happen. So, to be a great team, to get where they want to go, you need another guy behind Shedeur. You need another guy behind your top running back. They can't run the ball with the guy, right? You need depth on at every position, and they just don't have that.
I'm gonna give my take on their record for the season, and I think we can end it there. USC, I don't think they're going to beat them just because they're ranked higher than Oregon. If Oregon did what they did to them,
they rank.
It's just one seed. It's 8 versus 9.
Okay.
So, Arizona State and Stanford, as you said, Stanford is known for academics. Colorado should beat them. So that gives them at least 5.
You didn't say Arizona.
I think they're going to beat Arizona State, but now that's just me being ignorant. I know nothing about the team. I'm just looking at rankings and saying, okay, they're better.
Well, I'm glad you're saying that.
So I think they're going to beat Arizona State, Stanford. I don't know about Arizona. And they've got Washington State and Utah. I think they'll beat Washington State. Utah's ranked them.
Boy, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't listen.
They'll win 5 games. Which will be compared to 1-11.
Yeah, no, they need 6 for a bowl. I'm not gonna make any predictions because I don't know the teams that intimately. I only make predictions when I have a good handle on things. So I'm admitting that I don't. But if they can win 6 games, that's going to be a monumental achievement. I know that's not what he wants. Anything over 6 and he's coach of the year. If he wins 7 games, 8 games with this team, just 1 year into the program after going 1-11, he's coach of the year. There's no argument.
He has to get paid. I mean, it's Deion Sanders. He's been paid.
Well, we don't know what he's getting paid now. I mean, he's not doing this for the money, man. He's not doing this for the money. So he might be getting $3 million or whatever, which is a bargain. Right now, they paying these coaches like players. I can't believe it. So it's not about the money for him. He wants to do it for these kids. He wants to get guys to the NFL and stuff like that. So we'll see. I want my man to come back healthy. Right, and that's when we'll really know, you know what I'm saying? But he's done a tremendous job already, and we can't wait to see what he does and what the team does the rest of the season. So you want to wrap it up?
Yep, this has been Coaching the Kid. Like and subscribe if you like this channel, and we out. Peace.